Hi, in this video, I want to talk about the two most useful video cameras that I've been using on my YouTube channel. The first one is the Sony a5000 and the second one is the Panasonic GH4. These two camera has been my go-to camera for the last 5 years. And in year 2026, it will still be my most useful cameras that I'll be using for YouTube channel. Now, I do have a new one, which is what I'm filming right now, which is Sigma FP. Now, I'll talk about that in the next videos, but let's talk about these two cameras first. Let's get started. All right, so let's look at the first camera that I use for YouTube, which is this one here, the Sony a5000. Sony a5000 is a very affordable camera. You can buy it used for around maybe $100, and you want to get a 16 mils lens f2.8 from Sony, and that will cost you another $100. So you're looking at about $200 camera, and it will be a good video camera for YouTube. Now there are issues that I'm aware of, and people will point out to me as well, is that doesn't this camera overheat? And you're right, if you don't have the proper adapters. So if you buy an external battery adapters, okay, basically take the battery, connect it to the Sony a5000, and then of course you have the circuit out and you have this USB connection. You connect to, let's say, a power supply, then the overheating issue is pretty much eliminated. So this camera can run without overheating using external power, okay? The other issue people may say, well, but this camera is limited to 30 minutes recording. You're right. Again, there is a modification that you can do with this camera where you can extend that over, I think, 9 hours. I can't remember this firmware that you can modify. It can record for hours and hours, right? So you don't have to worry about the 30-minute recording limit anymore. So this camera can actually record over 30 minutes. In fact, I think up to 10 hours or 9 hours, right? So now that's taken away. This camera is a beast. Now, the only problem, of course, is the audio. Audio is not that great if you record directly from the camera. And this is why I set up this way, you see? So all the sound goes directly into this plastic container, and then it's then able to capture all the sound. And then what I would do is on DaVinci Resolve, I will use the AI voice isolation to be able to get rid of all these background noise or muffle sound. So that's how I do it with this Sony a5000. Very useful. In fact, I use this camera pretty much almost half of my YouTube videos, and I'm using it more and more because of the way it's set up. It's very convenient. The key to YouTube videos is to do it fast and have a good quality image. So if you have an APS-C camera or a Micro Four Thirds like a Panasonic GH4, then yeah, it's good enough. Okay, so this is very affordable YouTube video camera. I highly recommend it. I've been using it for over, I would say like at least 8-9 years now, and I think it's still great camera. And you know, I've been buying a lot of camera in the past, like you know, the Sony a7S2 and Sony a6500, 6400, 6100, and so on. I sold them all and I kept this one. The reason for that is this one is just so affordable. I trade my other Sony camera for, you know, like Sigma FP and other camera that I'm interested in, like Fujifilm X-T3 as well. Okay, so I've been buying, trading, selling cameras for a while, and this camera has been my go-to YouTube video camera. Now let me talk about the second one. The second one is also very useful. In fact, it is used most of the time, which is the Panasonic GH4. Panasonic GH4 can record in 4K. You don't have to worry about the overheating. It has been amazing camera. The battery itself can last for a long, long time. If you run on a single battery, it will last you for at least, I think, 2 hours. So that's great. Now, I don't use the battery directly now. I actually, just like the Sony a5000, I do connect it to a power supply, external power supply, so it can record indefinitely. So this camera doesn't really run on a battery, but run on the external battery system. So really great, and it's great for studio camera. So I've been using it for my YouTube videos, especially in studio or at home. Okay, so excellent. It has a flip out screen just like the Sony a5000, except this is flipping sideways, whereas the Sony a5000 is flipping up like that. And the audio quality on this camera, it has a mic jack input, so you can connect a wireless mic or a lav mic to it directly. And there's also a phone jack, so if you want to listen to it, you can do that as well. So this is very feature rich camera. If you want the cheapest, most stable YouTube video camera, this is it. Panasonic GH4. Now you can get GH5 as well, and GH6, but for the price and for what it can do, the GH4, if you want 4K, is still amazing camera, especially for studio camera. It has like unlimited recording limits, right? There's no limits actually on this camera, so you can keep recording it, no problem. As long as you have a decent memory card, you can fill it up. And of course, if you're doing 4K, it can fill up quite quickly. However, make sure you get the proper lens for this camera. Make sure you get a 12 mils, right, minimum, because 12 mil is equivalent to a 24 mils on a full frame. That's what you need for any type of YouTube channel videos. I think a wide angle lens is very useful for YouTube. So make sure you get a 12 mils for Micro Four Thirds, and I think 16 to 20 mils for APS-C camera. And the full frame, you would need a at least 24 mils, right? Or wider, okay? So full frame. Actually, I'm filming with my Sigma FP. So this is now my go-to camera as well. So I actually have 3 cameras. The first 2 I mentioned, which is the Sony a5000, the Panasonic GH4, and now I add this new camera to my YouTube channel. The reason why I now can use my Sigma FP because I have external power, so it doesn't limit to the battery. So one of the problems with the Sigma FP is that the battery is really small, and it can record for only maybe 40 minutes to an hour. And now I have external power. It connects directly to like a USB power supply, and it can run forever. And of course, it does a raw CD&G file, and so 1080p, of course. I always do all my YouTube on 1080p. So this camera is a 12-bit raw CD&G 1080p camera, and I'm happy with it. I'll talk about this camera later on in the next video, but right now we want to just focus on the A5000 and the Panasonic GH4. So I would say yes, those 2 cameras definitely affordable, great for YouTube channels. Now, if you don't want to modify anything, just get the Panasonic GH4. I think that camera is the standard for starting out doing YouTube for years to come. I think that video camera, if you want 4K, it has it, right? If you want affordability, it is. And, for overheating, it doesn't have that issue at all, okay? So yeah, I would say Panasonic GH4 is the camera, pretty much will set you for life on YouTube if you want a professional YouTube video camera in studio, okay? So those are my recommendations. Next time I'll talk about the Sigma FP, which is now one of my go-to camera for YouTube because of the full frame and the blurry background that it can do, right, on this 24 mils f2.8 Nikon lens, manual focus. Okay, so by the way, all the YouTube channel I use a lens. I try to manual focus on it instead of doing autofocus. I don't really depend on or rely on the autofocus too much. I always use my manual focus lens, okay, or at least set it to manual focus for all my cameras in studio. Okay, it's just that's why I'm using a wide angle lens, because I can actually reach out and rotate the lens and get it in focus using focus peaking. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a little heart of appreciation. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.